Hello and welcome to Space Saver. In the early 2000s of England, I don't know what happened, but when you look back, there are a lot of convertible cars. Just a lot. Like in the early 2000s, they just had this mass market appeal. I don't get it. Also, in England, we buy a lot of convertibles. I don't get why. I mean, in all fairness, I've owned 3. No, 4! The Tigre. But a lot of manufacturers used soft top roofs. And Renault's answer was actually not that bad. This is Renault's answer. When they were all in competition, the 3 of France, you had Citroën with, I believe, the C2 or C4 maybe. It was this weird convertible where you had to remove the side of the car, really. Bit strange. And Peugeot had others. But in the late 1990s and early 2000s, Renault made this. They just cut the roof off the Megane, basically, gave it to Carman, who basically designed it. So this part is a Renault. And from this point back, it is designed by Carman, which is why it has a very lovely bit here. It's actually, I think, quite nice. It's quite a nice looking car with the roof up and down. I mean, you can disagree with me, but this is not a bad looking car. I think it's well sorted. Don't mind that that wheel nut there is newer than the rest of them. It definitely didn't have that missing on MOT. Does a convertible need to be sporty? I always thought so. Now I've owned this for about a month or 2, I don't really think that's a problem anymore. I think it's actually quite a nice convertible for all the different reasons for the MX-5. One, it's decently sized. It looks quite good in my opinion. And it has a thing that the MX-5 doesn't, which is a big boot. I know, we're doing the boot first. Give me a second, there's a child seat in the back. I don't have children. I do not have kids. However, this fits in there, but you won't get that in a MX-5. You have the thermostat I need to replace, the original Renault ignition coil that I don't need anymore, that I've replaced. And you have Febby Bilstein thermostat, which I need to replace. The last whispers of pink coolant. There's a theme here of what might be leaking on this. And quick start, because this will not start every now and again. This is the first Sunday where it has started on its own. This is a huge boot for this size car.
It's not windy down there either.
It's really nice down here. Yeah, I've not seen a convertible with this size boot in a long while, and you also have a full-size spare in the boot. I've got this little rubber strap which I'm using to keep hold of things.
Still I do in the Alpha, just let it roll about.
Yeah, now what they haven't done is open this, so I don't actually know what it's used for.
To get to the boot from the inside.
Oh yeah! Oh, it's a pass-through bit. Okay, that's handy. I've caught my finger a lot of the time on this boot because I always expect it stops there, but no, it continues down there. However, it's actually quite easy to get things in and out. And I actually think it's a very practical car. I've been using this as my daily blew up, and it's actually been doing a really good job. And I think the bodywork is not in too bad of a state. You do have the odd bits of flaking paint and stuff. It's old. The tail lights are really clean. Well, apart from the dirt on there, but they're really clean. Oh, and it was also sold at Barlow Motors Limited, which is their Seat dealership. The roof is in moderate condition. One, I cannot see out the back, but I've been assured by a wonderful detailer that this can be polished up and cleaned, so that's good to hear. Yeah.
A bit sun damaged.
Just a bit sun damaged. The roof could do with a proper in-depth clean. It's got bits of moss growing on it. Small bits of white mould as well. However, overall condition is not bad. It works, it seals. I don't think it leaks water in it. First convertible that doesn't leak water. I'm getting there slowly, slowly. I also like just how smart it is. It's a smart looking car. I like this line that goes across, that goes inwards. You've got the nice panel down here that just comes up to this nice single just door. You've got the Carman badges here just to make it more distinguished, I guess. I can't really say anything other than that. Oh, and you've got the nice and easy accessible fuel filler cap. However, my fingers are skinny, but not that small. Also, my wing mirror has this sticker on it.
Yeah, that's the barcode to scan it off. Yeah,
I
the guy
see.
scanned it at the
Also,
BCA.
UK written on there. Missing RAC. Well, let's go over all the auction bits. You've got a signature down here, which I don't know about. You've got that, which I don't know about. You've got the stickers from the auction. Also, that glass sounds like it could take 1,000 hits. I've replaced the rear wipers because they were dreadful, as every car I buy somehow has smearing wipers. It has a heated mirror on that side, not this side. But the button to activate the heated mirror itself says but it says it can do the rear window, which isn't heated. You've also got this little bit of trim that's flapping about a little bit. I'll discuss a headlight issue it has. The headlights need a polish. The front bumper's covered in bugs, but also is losing a fair bit of paint. That was actually a stick we hit on the last trip we went on this to Diddley Squat Farm. Just driving along, I avoided someone. All I heard was whack! And just this stick flying off in the distance. I'm very angry. So when you look at this car from down low, it looks aggressive. But when you look at it from up, it's quite cutesy. Also, the Renault Megane Coupe went rallying. It's got rally heritage. Rally heritage. This mighty little convertible is powered by a pretty good engine. I quite like it. It's powered by a 1.6 litre 16 valve. Thank you for the badging. Also, I missed that from early 2000s cars. The badging of what the engine was. So another issue is this headlight doesn't necessarily lock in place. This is the Renault 16 valve 1.6 litre, and I'll be honest, it's a very toot sweet engine. Now, it had a starting fault and proceeded not to start, so what I did was I broke this off, because if you notice down there, there's a fair bit of pink, and that's due to a horrendous coolant leak.
And the pink just keeps on going.
The pink just keeps on going. Would you believe it if the underside of this car was covered in pink? Because I do, because I've seen it. First, the 1.6, in my opinion, is a great little French engine. I know. It's not as good as the 2 litre in the 182. Not at all. But as an eco car, it's absolutely fantastic. And it has a cable throttle. I love cable throttles. They are so good on cars. Instant throttle response. You're gone, you're off. Fantastic. Again, don't know why this is just hanging around or all the other wiring.
Well, it's a good thing this wire's here to stop this one from going down.
Yeah, true. Also, your dipstick is in the worst possible location, as is the oil filter, which are both down there. So let me just check my oil. It's hot. Oh, it's also the
World's smallest.
world's smallest dipstick. If I can get it out. What is that? When I saw this car in person, because you and Luke went to go collect it, thank you, Luke, for helping us get it, is that it had a new battery, a new alternator, and has at some point been really well loved in its life. Then I'm glad I got this, because it probably would have gone to the... So that has leaked all the way down to the crank position sensor, which is why the car wasn't starting for me. So what I did was jack it up, get something that wasn't electrical cleaner, and just spray the whole of the system around the back. And that seems to have somewhat helped it. For how long? Who knows? It's French. I'm relying everything on my daily driver on this. How the mighty have fallen. This engine has a lot of character, and I really do like it. So as far as I'm concerned, the engine, solid. The exterior, solid. So shall we have a look at the said interior? Now, this is just a Renault Megane inside, nothing special. However, you've got soft touch plastic on the dash, quite hard, nasty plastics everywhere else. But I really like this dial setup. I don't know what it is. When the lights are turned on, they all light up orange, and it's a nice, subtle way of doing it.
When it wants to work.
When it wants to work, yes. Sometimes it goes off randomly, so you have to indicate left, then right. No, right, then left, and then flash twice, and then it comes back on. I mean, it's a convertible, so when I'm driving around, it does rattle a little bit. You've got that up there, you've got that up there, so normally I put them down slightly. This rattles a little bit in there.
Oh, wait. This is a dynamic.
Oh, it is the dynamic.
But the only place shown it's called a dynamic.
Yeah, it's there. That's the only way you could tell what trim level your car was, is if you open the glove box. There are no cup holders. They are not substitutes. That is not a solid platform for a cup to be on. However, I can't tell you how the speakers or radio are because it's broken. What else is broken in here? That map light doesn't work. Well, actually, it's permanently on. It's just removed. That seatbelt is the wrong direction, as is that one. They're slightly twisted.
Well, that's all you can see out the back.
Yeah, that's all I can see out the back. Yeah, overall, it's very French. It's all right. The AC doesn't work.
And would you like to lock your 5-door?
My 5-door car, yes, please. Also, that's my heated mirror symbol, which is just the rear window button. Hazard light is quite funny because it pops out. I like this little feature. And it's got that old mechanical tick, 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 tick. Every button feels old and cool and nice. Again, this doesn't work.
What about that one on eBay?
However, the cigarette lighter has also stopped working since we got it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What, the 5-volt don't work?
I blew the fuse. I do quite like the interior. Now, what's the point of a convertible, everyone? Steering lock. On the button.
Now, we're going to time this.
Yes. Oh, well, actually, yeah, let's actually time it. So, I've got my stopwatch on here. 3, 2, 1. Ten seconds. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That is 20 seconds. 20 seconds is not bad. It is bad when you're at the junction and you go, oh, that light won't change for a while. And then it does. And then it does. Window switches. I have 2 here on the world's best and well-built car. That's fine. So put those 2 windows down.
When they want to.
When they eventually get down, yeah. And then the 2 rear windows are here. And now I'm converted.
And they don't have any blind spots.
Yeah, it's actually quite nice. Now, the rear, with the roof up, is a little bit challenging. However, where's the...
Wrong one.
Wrong one. I'll have to fix that in a minute. Where's the... There you go. Anyway, the back is not the most comfortable place to be. It's quite upright and, yeah. You do have an armrest though, which is very nice. And speakers, which don't work. Yeah, which don't work. Oh, also this seatbelt just kind of exists. These don't like going back in all that much, but they do eventually. It's not too unpleasant, but I wouldn't recommend anyone sitting in the back. I would recommend this to people if they need a fun, quirky car. However, I don't imagine many people would actually want a car like this nowadays. I mean, if this was my first car, I genuinely probably would have kept it. because I really do like this. It's got a really nice personality. It's very French in the way it does everything. It's very, very French. I mean, look at this. This is a fantastic bit of design on the back. That just makes the whole car look so much better. And you've got a vent to clear the rear windscreen when it's cold, which is completely useless. Like, it's showing its age with the seats coming apart and needing to be restitched and whatnot.
No.
But again, £310, what is the problem? Now, issues with the car. First, we'll start with the two front tyres need replacing. They're very heavily cracked and aged and are worn horrendously. The front pads and discs need to be changed, mainly because the caliper on this side has seized and is basically wearing it down to metal. So I need to get a new caliper, new front pads and discs. I need to sort the coolant leak that you've seen already. Underneath, a new beam at the back wouldn't be too bad. It's just one strengthening beam, that's about it. Now, for handling and everything, it is a bit floaty, boaty, woaty. It's not a sports car. It will never be a sports car. I see no point in trying to modify this because it's just all right. It does its job. I genuinely really like how comfortable the suspension is. It is the same as your coupe. It is small, simple, easy to get in, easy to drive. And just, I happily drive this on the motorway. I'd happily drive it on a country lane, bumpy roads. The suspension is really supple and soft. Yes, I genuinely think this overall is a fantastic little car. You don't get stuff like this nowadays, especially for how cheap this was. Yes, it was an auction, but we've got a cracking little motor that has got me out of a massive problem. This took me back to the honest reason as to why I like cars. I just like driving them. I like going to places, seeing and meeting new people. And this car does it to a T. Now, on a full tank, when I've brimmed this, it normally says it can do over 500 miles, which is insane. This car is getting, I believe, 41 point something to the gallon. Oil okay? Oh, you're not going to see that. Oh, you might.
There we go.
41.3 mpg. From a non-turbocharged car that isn't focused on economy, that is brilliant. Anyway, it's rattling. It's always going to rattle. One, it was built in France, and two, it's a convertible. And three, it was a cheap convertible. But it drives really nicely. Apart from the seized brake caliper, which I can feel, it does drive really nicely. The engine isn't powerful at all, but gives you a nice low down amount of torque, which is great for just general traffic and usage. I've not had a problem with it. I can overtake other cars if they're slower. That's not a problem. And generally, the fuel is really, really good. Brim it once for a month and you're pretty much set. It's not bad at all. It has its flaws, it's got its problems, and unlike most of the other cars I've driven or have owned, I actually do want to somewhat fix it up a bit and sort it out, because it feels like it deserves that little bit of loving. Now, if I'm honest, this is not a masculine car at all.
As everyone wonderfully to say, it looks gay.
It looks a little bit on the other side, and especially when you're a man getting out of it, it's not the greatest thing. But for a situation I'm in, couldn't be more happy.
Good car.
Yep. Anyway, that is it for the review of the Renault Megane Cabriolet, a car that has come into my life unwantedly and has surprised me to absolutely no end. It is a cracking little runaround, good MPG, cracking little 1.6 litre engine, handles like a Renault, it's fine. Needs a fair bit of work, which I do actually want to do on it for once. Imagine that. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps us out. We are very small and do want to get better at all things YouTube. Whether we will, who knows? But until next time, it has been an absolute pleasure. Goodbye. Buy Renault Megane Convertible, they're amazing.